I will pull Nigeria out of Commonwealth unless Britain lets Nigerians enter UK visa-free, Sowore. Omoyele Sowore, the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, says if elected president of Nigeria, he will pull Nigeria out of the Commonwealth if Nigerians are not allowed to travel to the UK and other Commonwealth nations without needing a visa. According to him, Queen Elizabeth's death should usher in a new order of unrestricted entry and residence in the Commonwealth countries. In a series of Facebook posts, Mr. Sowore posited that the Queen's death should mark the end of the Commonwealth or guarantee free entry to Nigerians, a policy he will pursue as president. If Nigeria is going to be part of the Commonwealth under my watch as president, then Nigerians must be able to travel to all Commonwealth countries without a visa. #we can't continue like this. He added, "Don't mourn the Queen, she didn't die for you. The death of the Queen should herald the end of the Commonwealth. #we can't continue like this." Speaking to People's Gazette on Mr. Sowore's views, AAC spokesman Adeyeye Olorunfemi said that being a member of the Commonwealth should bring about a more robust policy framework going beyond handouts. Being a member of the Commonwealth will remain if Nigeria's membership translates to something of more economic and material significance to Nigerians other than the handing out of funds and few scholarships. Mr. Adeyeye further pointed out that Nigerians have to assert to the world the way we want to be seen, and this means advancing our interests. He added, this at the very least must ensure free entry for our people in Commonwealth countries. The Commonwealth won't be really common when some people are denied entry, especially into places like the UK that was built with the Commonwealth. Okay. I think, again, just understanding, again, Sowore, like, really, as a presidential aspirant, I don't think this is what Nigerians are necessarily looking for, given the needs and demands of the country. Yes, I don't understand when it comes to, Nigeria's place in the Commonwealth and relation to even other countries abroad and immigration. It's something that does need attention, to be honest. But I think, really, you have to understand, with Nigerians working towards leaving the country, it goes down to the problems in the country. And so if your citizens decide with their own will that they do want to leave, with their skills, with everything that they know how to, that they have the capacity to build your own country, that says more of a big problem. Because really, the UK in itself is a country on its own where it can decide who it's going to bring in. And again, Nigerians all over the world, when it comes to immigration, the facts have just been that Nigerians just tend to cross lines and to some extreme lengths as well. And so you'd have very strict laws on immigration, especially when it comes to Nigerians. So really, you have, and I'm not saying, the British Embassy in Nigeria, of course, when people go apply and then people are rejected. And so again, the desperation of Nigerians wanting to go abroad to the UK, for example, and it's known the UK makes a lot of money, with its embassies in Nigeria, where people will apply again and again and again and again. And what you really have to question is the mindset. Why do people want to leave that bad? It goes down to fixing the country and making it sustainable and also making it a place that one would want to live and build there. But Nigerians are not looking to build in Nigeria. Hence why, the influx of Nigerians. It's not just any Nigerian. So now you have to understand, if this embassy has this population trying to get into its country, the selection process, of course, would have to be to their standards. And if they're going to be harsh or strict, depending on what they want, it is at their discretion. Again, when it comes to, if you're going to argue about, let's say, the, invisible lines of interaction. So, for example, with economic policies and being in the Commonwealth. So, okay, fine. If you look at our revenue, if in some way, Nigeria's revenue is not necessarily staying in the country, and you can say that, okay, fine, most of our revenue is going out to the Commonwealth due to a policy or another, which I'm just making an example of it, then that would make sense because it's really to the benefit of Nigerians. But Nigerians right now going abroad and the desperation to keep applying, again, of course they will make money. Nigerians would get rejected from embassies and apply so much that at a point they had to make it that, you know what, you can only apply 6 months after you've applied before and you're rejected. They had to give a time. So again, when you have these people wanting like to rush into your country, and most of them may even have the capacity to do so, it is at the discretion of the embassy to decide, well, this is what we're going to do. Well, if the country was in a better state and a better condition of living, where the purchasing power of an average Nigerian is not decreasing at every minute, then fine. But really, why people are leaving the country and the desperation is literally for a better life. And so as a presidential aspirant, yes, I don't necessarily know. Yes, I don't think what he's saying in general is a bad idea. But when it comes to the urgency of Nigeria's problems, it's not the first on the list, really. This is as Nigerians would say, until you are belly full. So when you are well fed and you have your needs taken care of, that is when other conversations can actually start. A comment here says, it's a good idea, but I can't imagine Britain granting Nigeria visa free. Just imagine that for a moment. With the condition of our country now, half of our youth would turn London into Lagos overnight. Imagine. So imagine I'm not saying Nigerians everywhere in the world are, not behaving, but you have to understand now, if you open the doors to youth just going visa free, literally, again, it's politics. What's the power of your passport? Why can't we have that people would want to come to Nigeria and have businesses and move for education? I mean, look at the UK. The UK has such a high population of international students. So now, really, you have to be realistic. If you're not coming to the UK with a skill or coming to invest in the economy in the long run, then what is the point? Why would they choose to take any Nigerian on just because they want to be nice and make sure this person has a better life? It's definitely not as easy as that. Who look at you? Please, your family members are not going to vote for you. Okay, fine. This is probably very much hurtful comment. But really, I think what Sowore really should be doing is not necessarily... he can campaign for himself and his ambitions. Yes, that's great. But he's not being... I personally don't think he's addressing the real issues that would make him get the votes that he wants. You can't go to Nigerians who, especially when they say it's a game of numbers. You can't go to Nigerians who don't have 3 square meals a day and telling them, Nigeria, you're in the Commonwealth, we need to go to Britain visa free. The average Nigerian can't even afford to go from one state to another, stress free. Let alone. So yeah, it's a lot. So I don't think it's necessary, but put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.